cold water species. We're going to see impacts as it relates to tourism and outdoor recreational activities. As this advances, if we don't prevent it, stop it, and hopefully reverse it, you'll see impacts on snowmobiling and ice fishing, and imagine, and other activities. Imagine the effects that that's going to have on winter tourism and the like in Minnesota. The ideas and issues and concerns about air pollution are obvious as it relates to human health and what that means for the health of our citizens. It may relate to population shifts as more and more people find northern Minnesota more hospitable from their standpoint in terms of weather and climate. It could relate to development patterns and demographic patterns. It could invite more invasive species as they find a warmer environment and climate more hospitable to this part of the state as well. And the list goes on and on and on, but those are a few quick examples. In terms of the Minnesota actions, we passed landmark legislation last year that, amongst other things, said we're going to reduce not as an aspiration, but as a legal goal, 80% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by the year 2050. We also have invoked a whole series of kind of clean energy initiatives and conservation and energy efficiency initiatives underneath that. And we've made good progress in Minnesota on requirements for renewable fuels and alternative fuels, and those are all being raised and advanced from E10 to E20, B2 to B20. We're third in the nation in per capita in wind energy production, and we're big into biomass and biogas and the emerging technologies and the like. So there's a lot of good things taking place in Minnesota. But as you know, we are also going to have to deal with this regionally and nationally. I'm proud of the Midwest governors for the activities that were described just a few moments ago. We have other groups of states around the state that have also acted regionally, and now as chair of the National Governors Association, under the banner of our initiative for the year, Securing a Clean Energy Future, we're going to try to get all of the states, or as many as we can, to roll up those regional compacts into a national compact, and hopefully that will become de facto the national policy if Congress fails to act. This will be a state-by-state fallback as to how we're going to approach the issue in the near and intermediate term. But lastly, I want to leave you with one important thought, and that is we need to approach this issue with a sense of fairness to the debate and respect for others who may not fully embrace our views. But we also need to make sure that we do this in a way that enhances the economy and doesn't hurt it, because citizens are also going to be looking for, the test is going to be as to these proposals that the Climate Change Advisory Group is going to come forward for me and for the legislature. Are they realistic? Are they practical? Is it going to result in economic harm to me, my family, to my community? And those are the kinds of things we're going to have to balance out in this debate. And it's going to require balance because life is going to require that people still have jobs, that they still have heat, that they still have electricity and power and all that that implies. And that's important. But I'll just lastly say, this is an opportunity in addition to being a challenge. I believe that the green-collar job revolution, that the movement of venture capital into clean energy technologies, that the emphasis that we can place on finding new research and development breakthroughs as applied to clean energy and greenhouse gas emissions presents the country with a wonderful opportunity. And if we do it boldly and correctly, it may result in economic advancements and a cleaner, better environment at the same time. It doesn't have to be a net loss to the economy. It could be a net gain. And I just want to make sure that we carry that message forward as well. We need to make sure that as we pursue and address this, we are not harming people's economic security as well. That's as important now as it's ever been to Minnesotans and to Americans, and that has to be balanced into how we proceed. And Will, thank you again for your leadership.